This episode is brought to you by Bottom Slap, which is the pants that I'm wearing right now. Haha, so if you're interested, do check out the link below. What's up guys, this is Shana and today we are in Verve Suites, Mont Kiara. Let's go! We are now in Jalan Kiara 5 and we have spoken many times before in Mont Kiara itself, which street actually matters a lot. And we are right behind the international school and right in front of Verve Suites. So this is a mixed development where you have the residents, you have somewhat offices and commercial areas. Therefore, you can see a lot of cars are illegally parking next to the roads. And here we can also somewhat explain the signs of tenants for commercial areas. On the ground floor or at LG, right, it's always grocers. So here you have Jaya Grocers. Then on the ground floor is always F&B outlets because people can just park and go in after they drink or makan, right? They can just walk out. It's very convenient for them. Then on the upper floors, what do they do? Usually it's appointment basis type of businesses like dental, tuition center, clinics, chiropractic, facial or whatsoever. So those are the different kind of tenants, and if you own a particular office lot, this is somewhere where you can zone into your potential tenants. So we just come out from the lift and this will be the lift lobby, very well ventilated and it's so bright. And because we are in the lower level, that's why partial of the floor plan actually includes the car park area. Therefore, half of the units are not built, therefore you only have 3 units per floor for this low level. I think the rest on the normal one is around 8 units per floor. So with 3 lifts here, there will be 1 unit at the far end and 2 units here. But back then the design are not that sophisticated yet to promote inclusivity. So if I'm on a wheelchair or my leg are injured, right, then this is not going to be too convenient. Then from the lift area, this will be the refuse room. And yeah, because it's 3 units only, this is totally sufficient. So we are now in the elevated car park and you can see the very conventional beam and column design, and it's reliant on artificial lighting although it's in the afternoon. So we have cement rendering, some epoxy, pedestrian walkway, and this will be the access directly into the door, and that gives you access directly into your unit. That's it, my car is here, right? That's the lift lobby. That will be the entrance directly into the car park. So that's the benefit of having the low floors, right? So you have less unit per floor and you can direct access into the car park. Then when you come out, there's this private corridor straight up into the unit itself. So this corridor width will be 1.8 meters and the height will be 2.54 meters, okay? So when you look down, that will be the main lobby, and where you can see right now people are putting up the Chinese New Year decorations. However, you can see traces of aging. You can see like the structural elements, all the water stains and all. Yeah. Usually in Mont Kiara, low floors have issues with daylighting, but in this scenario, it's not because there's nothing blocking, right? So we are going into the unit now. This is the foyer, and from the foyer we are going into the unit itself. So coming into the space, immediately you will have this wall, and usually what people do is they will have a sideboard here where you place your keys or whatsoever, right? First things first, the ceiling is rather low here, 2.6 meters, and there will be a further drop in the kitchen area. And there's this alleyway or corridor space before you enter the house. So from the entrance you come in, right? This space itself, it's 2.4 meters in height for the entire stretch of the kitchen. And it feels rather dwarfing. It's been a while since we seen ceiling heights that is around 2.4. Car parks we usually see a lot, but in units, right? Therefore, this also allows us to experience older designs of condos in comparison to the new ones that we all visit right now. Anyway, this is a unit listed in Cozy Homes. Currently rental is going for 3,300 and the ongoing price, if you check Property Guru's portal, is around 900 to 1,000 per square feet. So this is an 870 square feet unit. I cannot find any layouts at all online. Also, time internet services are available in this project. So we are now in the kitchen. There will be a fridge here, a solid surface. Then you have a 2-burner by Bosch and an oven here. This looks original directly from the developer, and you have the backsplash. They use marble away. And again, this shows their age of technology available back then. Right? Then will be the basin, and that's a window this side. It's the access to the aircon latch outside. But I like this particular window because on top it actually serves as a window for ventilation if you want to. So for privacy purposes, they actually frosted this layer. And for the cabinets here, this will be the location for your washer. And come to think of it, right, this project completes around 2015. Some websites say 2013, but let's put 3 years before that for launch. So this was launched 2012, and during that time you tell people you got no yard space, you need to wash in the same place where you cook. I'm not sure how acceptable that is, but I gotta honestly say this layout feels very peculiar. Now we are standing in between the living and the dining hall, and this just shows you how open the layout is. But without all the lights on, right, this really feels kind of dark because the light can't really bounce into the internal spaces. Okay, this is a huge window, and they have a French balcony. Right, this very small one. So it allows you to just open, take a path, and just engage through the external world for a while. And looking at it, the greeneries is really nice, and that's something that I always talk about as well. So if you are in level 2 or level 3 from the ground floor, right, you get to enjoy the foliage directly. And there's also a hack to pick a unit 2 to 3 stories above the facilities that close to the garden, right? So you have all these trees as your background for the unit. Pretty cool. So as this is a 2-bedroom unit, so there's one room here next to the dining, and this illustrates that whenever you open the door, so privacy will be a problem, but this is a small unit, what to do, right? Then this is the mirror, and it kind of enhances the quantity of space where you can see the edge suddenly becomes from there instead of here. And structurally, I think that this is pretty crude, in the sense where it's pretty sticking out, but just that the team at the makeover has kind of camouflaged it with the wall colors, and also it was minimized. And something I want to show you guys, this is the principal bedroom. Okay, so they have this partition door. Personally, I'm not too sure about the sliding door, but at least when there are guests in the living room and you're hosting your family or friends, you don't let people see everything in your bedroom, so I guess the partition works in that way. It's a studio, it's a very spacious 1+1 studio, and if I were to use this space, it's going to be really cool because it's going to look like a Soho, where that is definitely going to be my office. I'm not too sure on whether the cabinets come directly with the unit or not because it's rather bulky. Like you can see this, right? This is easily 750mm, and it's such a huge thing. Maybe TVs back then were bigger, but it's such a... On the good side, you have this entire stretch of wall as your cabinets, and the entrance to the bathroom is also here. So before going in, this is a king size bed with bedside tables. Oh, I like the wall design. Then this is the structural member that is rather thick. But what's nice is this chill out zone at the bay window. So you have this angled glazing here. Very nice. So these will be the areas where you can just zone out or have pancakes here or whatsoever. It's a lifestyle oriented unit, so this is not meant for big families, for you to do big cooking. The cooking area is not a kitchen, I call it a pantry. And because of the commercial area downstairs, there's a Japanese restaurant, cafe, breakfast place. Why cook? Anyway, something to also point out, these windows are designed with intent for this kind of furniture to happen, where the windows just terminate at this level around 600 above floor, so a person can perfectly sit on this. But I must say, this beam seriously is so thick. Moving on, let's check out the principal bathroom. Something not as practical in our weather and way of living. We have carpet here connecting to smaller porcelain tiles, and this just shows the age of the property. So you have total WC, and on top of that is only a fraction wall tile. So you have plaster and paint here, and your wall tiles here. Then they installed a mirror, which is rather weird. Then the basin area will be here. It's like a desk kind of design. But because Mont Kiara developed from a location that's focusing on expats, especially Japanese back then, when all of them came from Old Klang Road over, right? There are certain specifications to the bathroom design around apartments in this area. You have the mixer, which is the hot and cold water for the basin. Very common around here. Another thing would be the bathtub, and this one is the sunken type. You have the smaller mosaics here. You have this kind of detailings where it's very interesting. You are actually in the bathtub itself after you on the tap water here, so the water level highest will be at this level. And when you just lie down, this will be your view. You will have the window, then you have the shading device to somewhat provide you privacy, and this is how you will chill after work. So from the principal bathroom, moving over, this will be the smaller room, and yeah, a small room, right? A single bed, workspace, and that would be the window profile. So certain feng shui believes that this is not the right way to position your bed, but it's entirely up to your belief. And what's cool is this is the door that gives you access to a shared bathroom. So after a door, you have this basin, and there will be another door before you access the WC and the shower area. So this is a full height wall tiles. Again, the old school mosaic, and this half wall tile detail is again here. That includes the basin area as well, but we know the practicality of it, so somebody can still use the basin while somebody is doing their business or taking a shower inside. But guests then needs to come into the bedroom before they can use this bathroom. And because the bathroom has absolutely no access to windows or openings, right? They can only depend on the ventilation system. And I guess that's all for the unit. Let's check out the facilities deck. Hey guys, so now we are in the podium facilities deck, and there's two pools. One is shut down, I don't know for whatever maintenance reasons, but this is the lap pool on the other end. So in total, this project, there will be 4 towers altogether, comprising 880 units around there. And what you can see here, that will be the barbecue area. And there will be some sitting areas next to the pool. And one very obvious thing, right? The landscape treatments are amazing. It's so matured. And right now we are just walking in between the pool and the meditation garden on the side. You can see how matured the greeneries are. The landscape is just amazing. Not only softscapes, but the hardscape as well. So you have this pebble wash, then you have all the water fountains. It's so soothing. So on this same level, we have access to each and every block via a bridge that is really cool architecturally. Also, they will have access directly into the commercial area as well. Right behind us would be the tennis court, and back then, right, tennis court somewhat signifies a class because only the affluents play tennis. Like, I don't know how to play tennis, so I'm not one of those classes. And in this facility as well, we get to experience one thing. Like, looking from afar, you look at the very heavy towers, the very high density blocks. It's pretty scary, but when you are in, right, it's not. You barely feel the towers. You are actually surrounded by bird sounds, landscapes, and greeneries. But of course, there's a pylon behind. Then on top of each tower, there will be facilities as well, individual ones. And while walking through them, you can really see the signs of aging, whether it's aircon spoil, device spoil, door not working, and etc. And that's the very unfortunate truth as well. So if you're going to buy sub-sales, right, do pay attention to the common facilities, especially the water features. Those are the first thing to cut whenever there's a maintenance fee shortage. Okay, so now we are in the rooftop of this tower. There's a sky dining terrace here, and it's going to be pretty cool where you have sitting areas here. You can cook something or just prepare some caterings here, right? This will be the view that you will get, and at the far end there will be another block and people just hang out around that area. Well, some got pool, some got gym, some got terraces. It depends which one that you like, right? But this one also got water feature, so it's pretty cool. Then on the other side, when you walk through this waterway, right, you will come to this timber deck, and again, I think this is like a stargazing deck. At night, it's going to be so cool. One side, you have all the high rises here, which is the selling point of Mont Kiara, but on the other side, you still have a forest reserve, which is very, very attractive. From here, you can clearly see the connection to the highway and how it branches in. That will be Desa Sri Hatamas, or the commercial area, which is a stone throw away. And this will be the international school. And you can see the traffic is just so busy and intense. Then looking at the far end, there will be art quarries, there will be 163, there will be R22. But the dream, right, is to stay in this kind of landed in Mont Kiara itself. Whew. And I think that's all for the review. It's now time for Sean take 3 on 3. So for the first 3 things I like, number 1 is the Mont Kiara address. Again, we spoke about this before. It's either you really like the lifestyle that comes with it as address, where it's very expat focused, and that affects the F&B providers, service providers, the international schools, the surrounding amenities, and the culture around the address. So in the morning, you can see a lot of people cycle or jog around. Therefore, you can see the pedestrian pathways around Mont Kiara. It's very, very well done. So hence connectivity between different towers to the centralized commercial area is very, very well thought through. And think about a step further, why this area has been the favorite for expat is also because of the amenities. You have the French school, 2 international school, which is the Mont Kiara International School and Gardens International School. The connectivity to the major address such as Bukit Damansara, KL City Centre, Kota Damansara, PJ. If you look into the map of Mont Kiara, the central intersection of most of the main highway goes through Mont Kiara. And particularly for this project will be Jalan Kiara 5. It's a more quiet zone compared to Jalan Kiara 3 and Jalan Kiara 1. This one is a little bit more secluded, it's a little bit more private. And the second thing I like would be the massing of the entire project. Although we can see Mont Kiara as a whole is just very, very intense in terms of density. But when you walk around the unit, when you walk around the facility, that you won't feel the intensity at all. It's as if you are in a whole different space. That includes the driveway experience, that includes the landscape treatments, that includes the spacing and window position of each unit, so to not face another unit. Then the connectivity from 4 towers into the central podium, and that connecting to the commercial area. And with that strategy, that provides convenience to the residents. Just a very self-sustaining program altogether. And that's the main reason why people actually like Mont Kiara. Yes, from afar, it's packed with towers, but when you're in the tower, you won't feel like it. And this is one of those examples. And third of all would be the old school, can I say this, like old school kind of layout design, where units are generally bigger. Like for this 1+1 bedroom unit is actually almost 800 square feet. For modern design, it's easily 3 bedrooms. So here we get to see the toilet design that's a little bit more different. The corridor design as well, where I think the efficiency is going to be super, super low. Just think about the corridor from the lift up to your unit, right? Indirectly, all of those spaces are yours, and residents actually use it, put up their laundry or to store their kids' toys and etc. Also, the common areas are very, very generous. That's the main atrium that is so well done. It's really a world on its own, and on top of that, each and every tower will have their own space as well. So if you're just too cramped up in the unit, you can easily find a spot just to escape. But that's also part of the 3 reasons that I don't like. because of the facilities in abundance, it's pretty hard to manage, especially when maintenance fees are not fully collected. Therefore, you can see a lot of water features are actually switched off. Equipments, air cons, facilities are not optimum. They will just stick a sticker, not functioning or whatsoever. So that's a reality of apartment living in Malaysia, unfortunately. So again, this is a public announcement for everyone to be a responsible owner. Please pay the maintenance fees, at least to keep the building going, right? Because these things actually help maintain the value of the property. Then the second thing, as much as we can escape from the external world in the facility, right? If you need to go out, the infrastructure of Mont Kiara is pretty limited, especially the roads. So because there are 2 international schools here, so the peak hours are slightly different from public schools. So in those hours, generally those roads are stuck, and it's pretty much a chain reaction to the entire Mont Kiara. That's also a reason why a lot of people choose to just scoot around or just walk around. And last of all, in the unit itself, I'm not too sure whether is this done by the owner himself or provided by the developer. But I don't like the built-in cabinets, especially the cupboards, the wardrobes. They are just too massive. To an extent, it becomes a burden, like the divider between the kitchen and the living, the divider between the living and the principal bedroom. Then the small bedroom is already so small. Why chuck in another big size cabinet? So that's not very nice. On top of that would be the very low ceiling height. It's around 2.6 highest, and that is a concern. And I think that's all for this episode. I guess from this project we can learn somewhat on the old layouts that is not so efficient. It means you have more common areas to be shared, but within the unit itself, the ceiling height is not as nice. Also now we get to differentiate the difference between streets like Jalan Kiara 1, Jalan Kiara 3, Jalan Kiara 5. There are distinct differences in terms of intensity of traffic and crowds. But do I mind staying here? Not really. It's just so convenient, and I'm at a stage where I'm putting career very close to family as my priority in life right now. And this location puts me very close to all the action. And with that, thank you very much for watching. If you really like this episode, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.